Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we turn confusing corporate filings into something you can actually understand. Today we are diving into Abbott Laboratories' latest 10K report, and things might get a little bumpy since they have been dealing with lawsuits, investigations, and some major shakeups in the past year. Let's see what all of this means for the healthcare giant. Abbott is in the business of discovering, developing, making, and selling a wide range of healthcare products. They have four main areas they focus on, which they call segments: established pharmaceutical products, diagnostic products, nutritional products, and medical devices. First up, established pharmaceutical products consist of generic drugs that Abbott manufactures and sells outside of the United States, mostly in what they call emerging markets. These are your everyday medicines, but they have a lot of different options, including medicine for the stomach, women's health, cardiovascular, pain relief, and even vaccines. Moving on, the diagnostic products segment includes tests and systems used to diagnose diseases. This segment is known for its rapid at-home COVID tests, but that is not all. They also include tests for infectious agents such as HIV, hepatitis, flu, and RSV, and testing for cancer, drugs, and other diseases that need a trip to the doctor. The nutritional products segment offers a broad line of pediatric and adult nutritional products, and infant formula is a big part of this. They also sell adult nutrition products such as Ensure and Glucerna, as well as nutritional products for enteral feeding, which is for those who get their nutrition through tubes, generally in healthcare facilities. Last but not least, their medical devices segment includes devices that help with heart rhythm, heart failure, blood vessels, diabetes, and neurological disorders. These are your pacemakers, heart valves, glucose monitors, and spinal cord stimulators that help with chronic pain. In general, it sounds like Abbott gets its raw materials without too many supply chain problems. They also put a high value on patents and trademarks to protect their products, but the company states that there is not one patent or trademark that their entire business relies on. The report mentions that it is very important for Abbott to attract and keep talented people with diverse backgrounds. They do this by offering opportunities for growth, competitive pay, and benefit programs, and they emphasize health and safety for its employees. Executive pay is even tied to meeting goals for human capital management and creating a fair workplace for everyone. As a healthcare company, Abbott is heavily regulated by the FDA in the US and similar organizations internationally. These rules affect everything from developing new products to manufacturing, marketing, and pricing. Compliance is expensive and can delay the release of new products, and if they do not comply with the rules, they risk product recalls and other penalties. Now let's talk numbers. As of June, the total market value of shares held by non-company insiders was around $177 billion, and over 1.7 billion common shares outstanding in January of this year. Of course, every company faces risks, and Abbott is no different. One major risk is that any major breakdown in the global supply chain, which has been an issue since the start of the decade, could cause them problems. Supply chains are still seeing challenges as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, labor shortages, and high inflation. Another key risk is that Abbott might not successfully incorporate an acquired company, which will affect profitability. Cybersecurity is a major concern, as a breach could seriously harm their business and reputation. Abbott relies on complex information systems, including patient data, making them a target for hackers. They are also dependent on keeping current with technology and innovation. If they are unable to create new products or new versions of their existing products, this could affect revenues. Manufacturing problems also pose a risk. Because many of Abbott's products are complex to manufacture and need strict regulatory requirements, any issue in the supply of raw materials, equipment malfunction, or other issues could stop production. Government regulations can also be a challenge. Changes in healthcare laws could impose new obligations or restrict operations. Healthcare regulations are always evolving, and changes could affect the demand for Abbott's products. Intellectual property is a key concern, and if competitors successfully claim that an Abbott product infringes on their intellectual property, this could lead to significant damages or prevent them from selling affected products. Also of importance are any safety concerns. Product liability claims and lawsuits, as well as product recalls, can damage their business and reputation. For example, in early 2022, Abbott had to recall infant formula and temporarily stop manufacturing at a facility in Michigan, which impacted market share in that segment. Because Abbott operates globally, with a lot of sales being realized in other currencies, they are subject to currency fluctuations that will affect their financial statements. And finally, changes in tax laws and unstable economic conditions in certain countries could also negatively impact their operations. Specifically on the legal front, Abbott faces numerous lawsuits related to certain specialty infant formula products administered to preterm infants. As of January, there were nearly 1,500 lawsuits pending in federal and state courts. In one trial, a jury awarded the plaintiff $495 million in damages, but Abbott is appealing. Also, the United States Department of Justice is conducting a criminal investigation related to Abbott's manufacturing of infant formula, and they're also dealing with shareholder derivative lawsuits. In executive news, Robert Ford is currently serving as the chairman of the board and chief executive officer. There was also a change at the executive vice president of finance as Philip Boudreau stepped into the role. Now let's look at how they did. Abbott's sales grew mainly because of medical devices, established pharmaceuticals, and nutrition. COVID-19 test sales continued to decline. Emerging markets grew about 8%, without considering currency exchange rates. The operating margin, or how profitable they are on sales, went up slightly from 16.2% to 16.3%. This is due to cost-saving efforts, but is partially offset by foreign exchange and inflation. In the medical devices segment, sales increased significantly, particularly in diabetes care. Key product approvals included new continuous glucose monitoring systems and heart devices. Remember that infant formula recall in 2022, Abbott regained market share in the US. Abbott is dealing with complex and evolving tax rules, both in the US and internationally, and they're also closely monitoring tax proposals by the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, or OECD, which could significantly affect their tax rate. One thing that I found notable is the report on cybersecurity, which they go into detail on their risk management and strategy to prevent, protect, and respond to such attacks. The board of directors receives reports twice a year from the company's chief information officer and chief information security officer. So what does all of this mean? I would say that Abbott's direction appears stable. It operates in a defensive, non-cyclical sector with consistent demand. Its strengths are clearly in medical devices, which is seeing very healthy growth. Good news is they seem to have put the infant formula recall issues behind them for now. However, they do face very real challenges. The decline in COVID-19 testing revenue, the impact of foreign exchange rates, and the potential for major tax changes are all risks. But overall, Abbott seems well positioned for the future. Remember, this is just a snapshot based on publicly available information, and we are not financial advisors. As the company says themselves, this Form 10-K contains forward-looking statements that are based on management's current expectations, estimates, and projections, and are not guarantees of future results. Do your own research and consult a financial professional before making any investment decisions. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, please subscribe to Corporate Decoder for more deep dives into the world of business.